another great edition of Creator News Live. So glad you're here. We have an amazing show. We've got the amazing Katie Fawkes, and of course the amazing Paul Gowder is back helping me co-host today. It's going to be a fun show. Katie, how you doing? All the maple syrup's boiled and put away. Now it's summertime. What is it? Chicken? Is it chicken culling? What is it? Like, I don't know what you do now.
No, I don't. We don't do any chicken or duck culling. Those are pets.
Okay.
But yeah, gardening, backyard updating, relaxing, cocktails in the garden.
There you go. It's Friday. Paul and I were talking about that before. Paul, I know you do craft. This is the wrong show, but we talk about crafting at the Bigger Staple with Katie later on today. But I know you do beadwork and stuff. But what do you like, garden or what is your any of that kind of stuff?
No, if I'm going outside and doing stuff, it's good to go play around the disc golf.
Yeah, I knew you were a disc golfer. So
that's a fun one.
Cool.
Yeah.
So just let me pull up and see. I don't even have my comments up today. It's one of those Fridays. There we go. We've got the amazing Dustin. I knew there were people here already. Dustin Stout watching over on YouTube, waving hi. Sandra saying hello all. Hello to you as well. And Video Like a Dad saying, how y'all doing? I am doing excellent. Thank you for asking. This is going to be a fun show because Katie is always awesome. And she's got a lot of things to talk about today. So
all the things.
So Paul, are you ready for this crazy show?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to hit go on the podcast machine and we will get started. If I can find my button right here. Here we go. Hello, folks. Welcome to Creator News Live. I'm Jeff C., and you're not.
And I'm Paul Gowder, and this is the show that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the world of the creator economy and so much more.
Have you scrolled your feed lately and felt like everything is starting to look the same? Maybe AI voices, AI thumbnails, AI avatars, AI scripts, AI everything. Have you been quietly wondering if there's anything left that actually feels human anymore? And maybe you're starting to suspect that maybe the thing that makes you stand out as a creator in 2026 is just being brave enough to show up as you. If that sounds familiar, you are in the right place.
This week, we're sitting down with our friend Katie Fawkes, Director of Marketing at Ecamm, and one of the most respected voices in live video and creator in the community. Katie co-hosts The Flow and the VHS Club, and she's been running Pat Flynn's Go Live and Grow Challenge with Ecamm team. And she's got 2 creator camps coming up in 2026. You got to be at those. I can't wait for the one in September.
So sit back, clear your schedule, clear your mind, and get ready for this week's of Creator News Live.
It's Creator News Live in the AI age. Katie Fawkes is here and she's taking the stage. Real humans win when the feed is fake. Camera confidence, that's all it takes.
Katie, so good to see you again. Thank you so much for being back on the show. This is going to be a fun one.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's going to be a blast. It's Friday.
I know, it's Friday. And we've got 2 shows. So if you guys don't know, Katie and I do another show at 1 p.m. Central where it's called The Maker's Table, where I carve, she crochets, and we have great conversations. So if you want to just chill with us today, that will be a fun one to go to. But today we are talking all about being real in this AI age and camera confidence, all sorts of things. But I want to do a big shout out to our friends, of course, Ecamm. You can find out more about them by going to ecamm.com/Jeff. You can save 15% by using code Jeff15 by using that code with your first purchase. And we are very thankful for them to sponsor this show. So, Katie, we're going to talk a bunch about this camera confidence, the stuff that's coming up. But I wanted to talk to the audience first and say, I want a quick poll. Like, how much AI-generated content do you think is in your feed right now? So, like, drop a percentage, 10%, 50%, 80%. I think it depends on what platform. Let's just whatever platform.
In general.
In general. Because YouTube, I see it's going up. Facebook, I see it a lot more. Maybe it's just the feeds I'm in. But I want to know with you guys, what percentage are you seeing AI in your feed? Because I'd love to know what everybody is seeing because it seems to be growing. But Katie, let's talk about some of the stuff that you've been doing. You've been really kind of, ever since I've known you, I think, really talked about camera confidence. So it's been a minute since we've had you on, but folks meeting you for the first time, give us the short version. How did you end up running marketing for Ecamm, which is so funny that this is software that people love. We have a creator camp about. It's one of the, I think, one of the most beloved tools in the creator world. So how did you start? Like, how did you get involved with Ecamm? Because I don't even know if I know the full story.
Oh my gosh. Accidentally, accidentally / on purposedly. I come from a copywriting background. So I actually have an English literature degree. I always wanted to be a writer, like an actual like novel writer. And then I really wanted to work in publishing. And then I somehow ended up in the world of marketing, doing product copywriting for all different kinds of websites and businesses, catalogs, everything in between. And then transitioned from that into social media marketing at the time where I'm old enough that like, as I was writing, like social media was becoming a thing. So I vividly remember applying for a job and them being like, well, what background and experience do you have in social media marketing? And I was like, anyone who does is lying to you.
Right.
Like it's literally
Right.
brand new, right?
Right.
Right now I have all the experience, none of the experience, everything in between. And so flash forward, I was working at a company called Paint Night. Hopefully they don't mind me telling this story all the time, but I was running a team of, I think there were about 150 local business owners who were running these like paint and sip parties across North America, bringing to life this like really fun experience. And I had to make training videos for them because I was their like marketing manager basically to help them, market their businesses effectively. And literally, I'm not even joking, every single time that we had to do this, which was like multiple times a year to update these videos and give them relevant, helpful content, I was totally fine on calls, totally fine in person. The second that the video crew showed up and started pointing a camera at me, I would be shaking, crying, like all of the script that I had worked so hard on would fall right out of my head. I have a theater background, so like the fact that I couldn't memorize that was wild. Like it would just disappear and I would bumble my way through it. And then I'm sure that they had to do tons of editing. They were so kind to me. So it was just like literally ironic beyond all reason that I ended up talking with my friend Ken, and he had this business with his brother Glenn, and they were making this video software, and they really wanted someone to help them figure out whether or not they should do marketing, what kind of marketing they should do. They had no marketing at all after, almost 20 years of running that business. And I was like, yeah, I'm more than happy to help you. Jumped in, and the first project that they wanted me to do was a live video interview with like literally the top names. Like these are people like Luria, Diana Gladney. I like, we interviewed like big name people in the industry, like across the board. And it took me, I think I posted this when I did my presentation for Momentum, but I think it took me like 8 or 9 interviews before I actually showed up on camera. Like my team is so kind that Ken interviewed people, Glenn interviewed people, even Midori, who's customer support, so like not even her job. She was like, everyone took a turn because they could see how nervous I was. So I like, when I say camera confidence, it has been a journey, and I know how it feels. I know how every aspect of it has felt and continues to feel. So I got really real a couple of years ago. I mean, honestly, like largely in part to you, Jeff, Paul, the whole Momentum crew, definitely Lou, where you just kept forcing me to show up in these spaces and be more real and ask me these kinds of questions. So it's which has been great for me. I think it's been a fun experience to kind of forced into sharing my story and getting more vulnerable has been probably one of the best things that I've done for myself personally and professionally. It's been a great experience for sure.
So I want to talk just real quick, Paul, before we wait to get your question. I want to ask kind of a follow-up. So it really is interesting to me because we have talked before. We're both kind of theater nerd kids kind of thing. And so like, what was it about a camera turn on? Because you're up on stage in a costume, singing and dancing. And this is the same for me, probably not as much. But what's about the camera versus being up on stage? Because people are like, well, you must be okay because you're like, you get up in front of people all the time.
You know what? I've thought a lot about this, actually. It's a really good question. I think it's the live aspect of it
Yeah.
mixed with an intense level of perfectionism. So there is something about the idea of when you are recording a video, it can be edited. It can be fixed. You can pause. So in some ways, the generosity and the kindness of the video team and then later projects where I had to record things by myself, the ability to say like, "Oh, do you want to do another take? Do you want to try that again?" Like that got into my head. Whereas when you're doing theater, you have to wing it in the same
Right.
way where when you're doing live streams, like if the script falls out of your head, too bad. The audience is
It's
there. You
there,
have to figure
right.
out a way to
Yeah.
get through it. So I don't think I fully realized that until I started doing more and more live streams. I was like, "Oh, this actually continues to feel like a safer space for me because I can do all of the prep work, but at the point where I hit that go live button, too bad. You're getting through it and you have
Right.
to focus on the people on the other side." And I think it really actually helped to counter a lot of that perfectionism and make me more confident because it just was unwilling to give myself permission to do another take or,
Right.
or try over or edit it later. I
Right.
don't do any of that. It is what it is, and I move forward.
There's that famous quote from Lorne Michaels. He's like, when he was talking about Saturday Night Live, he's like, we don't go live because it's ready. We go live because it's 10:30, right? Like, and then that's
It's
almost
Saturday
like
night.
I feel the same way with Friday. Every morning I go up like, why am I doing this? And then people show up and I'm fine. And I have great
Yeah.
guests. So yeah, so I totally get that.
Yeah. Well, so I'm looking at the comments and people are responding, Jeff, to your question. And 50%, 60%, our feeds are full of the AI stuff. Over in the powwow world, there's all the powwows are putting out posters that all look the same, whether it's, and so it's text, it's voices, it's images, everything. You see in a ton of it right now. Katie, what do you think that's doing to the creator economy? Like, is this good or bad for us?
Oh my gosh. It's a little bit of both. Look, I'm not here in this episode, and maybe Jeff thinks I'm going to do otherwise. I am not here to tell you not to use AI. I love AI. There's a lot of benefit to it. There are a lot of incredible things that you can do to save time, to make better content, to feel and be more creative. I think it's an incredibly valuable tool across the board, regardless of what tool you're using for it. I will say that I think what it does to creators is makes them feel some kind of way on either side. So either, you're frustrated because you see all the stuff out there and you're like, well, that's like garbage. It all looks the same. It's flooding these feeds, which is making it much more difficult for us as humans to reach people. And then also I think it makes us feel like we need to do more, we need to try harder. All these other people now are just pushing buttons and posting content out there. So I think it does a few things, and it's a little bit of a mind game, but we are going to need to all just like slow our roll and take a deep breath and figure out how to use these tools effectively, whether or not we want to use these tools. And remember that like this too shall pass. Like we are in a very interesting period of time as well. So it's not always going to feel this way, this busy or this crazy or this bad.
That's a good point.
It's just it's an inflection point, right? So
Yeah. It's funny because we really don't go and talk about spell check all the time. Like we don't have a conference about let's talk about spell check and how we can optimize. I think it's going to be built into our lives as much as, I'm a horrible speller and spell check saved my bacon, like as a content creator, like, and we don't even think about it. I have a feeling we're moving that way to, maybe that's a little naive. I think it's a little bit more than just spell check, but I agree with you. And we had a lot of people even say, I think it was Lauren said that these songs are the bop. She really likes the music at the beginning, and like I would never be able to do that unless I used AI as a tool. And I like it because it's giving me more, I guess, brushes or paints in my palette that I can use to do fun things like create openers. Later on, I'll show you guys a commercial that I did for Ecamm that's like it's branded to me, and like I would not be able to do that before. At all, unless I spend a bunch of money. So I think it's really, really cool that we have this kind of stuff. And I think everybody's kind of saying the same thing. Even How to Repair has this great quote saying, the reason I'm thinking about doing AI voice is I'm dyslexic, and sometimes remembering long scripts and getting it perfect. It would be too much. It would be hard, and so it's easier to use AI. So that's a great use of using it as a tool and enhancing what you're able to bring to people. And I think that's great. Thank you for sharing that. How to repair. So we got so many great things in the comment. Tech Troublemaker is saying, as long as the words are yours and is it jarring and sounds close, it should be okay. How to repair, just check the box on YouTube that says AI was, and so you'll feel clean about it. So I think that's a great point. Exactly. I love it when our comment section gets together and solves problems. I just think it's really cool. And Video Like a Dad says, it's feeling like a little bit like the Wild Wild West out there right now. I'm so ready for this initial AI generated mania to settle down. Yeah, I agree with you there. So Katie, we've talked about it a little bit, but you've been beating this camera confidence kind of drum for years, which is great because it's your story. I mean, it's not like you're making this up. It's something that you've done and tried. So, and we've talked about it kind of offline a little bit, but why do you think showing up as a real human on camera, like what we're doing now, is a thing that separates creators from the ones who get scrolled past maybe?
Yeah, it's, and again, this like directly relates to this conversation about AI. Like people, we are at the best possible time as creators. So if you are a creator who is a little bit still nervous and apprehensive about this live streaming thing, but you're trying your best, or maybe you're similar to me and you're on this like journey of doing live more often, we're going to win this game, because being able to show up ourselves imperfect is actually more and more and more and more important as we head into this AI future, because we're having a really intense trust drought right now. No one trusts anything. And so the ability to show up actually like with your flaws, as much as that can feel sometimes a little weird, is the best. And getting to show up and spend time with people and connect with people and build a community, there is no greater way to do that than live streaming. And then, I see all these comments popping in, right? I can talk to all these people directly, so they know I'm not a robot. I'm not I'm not faking this thing. This is not an AI show in any way. So it's a really rewarding, exciting time to be here in this space. And I think like all of the AI is going to help us in tons of ways to be better creators. But in the end, the people who show up and who are showing up as themselves for their community and are spending time with other people and connecting, like nothing but opportunities for that kind of situation right now. So it's exciting. It's a really exciting time.
You mentioned not knowing what's going to happen during a live show, and that's what one of people use it. So you always have trolls in the comments, and we've got somebody watching
people like
on
Lou.
YouTube.
Is that what you're about to say?
I trust Katie. Jeff, not so much. Lou. So thank you for that. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Jeff.
And he asked for a favor this morning too. Well, that ain't happening. So anyway, Paul, go ahead.
Lou, I told him to drop everything. I told him to cancel the show and do the favor for you, but he wouldn't listen to me. So
he's got people just. It's like the Steve Jobs reality bubble. When you're in Lou's presence, everything just goes away. So I understand.
Yeah. I like Dustin's comment talking about he's an AI company founder, and there's always a balance, right? This needs to be an enhancement to what you're doing, not the sole thing of what you're doing. I think that's a good point. Katie, as you talk to creators, Momentum and Creator Camp, and in Podfest, you've talked to a lot of creators in person. What's the myth that you hear from them about their fears about being on camera? What's holding people back right now?
Oh, it's really a lot of things. I mean, a lot of it comes from perfectionism. So it's this idea of like, well, if I get it wrong, people will think XYZ thing, right? So like for me, it was, if I get it wrong, people will think that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not going to I won't show up as this authority person. I'm supposed to be the director of marketing at Ecamm, and I don't even know how to talk about video. I don't even know how to use video. Like that's the fear, right? But that is the fear that other people have as well. And then there are a lot of people who fear how they look and sound on camera. Like look, it's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling looking into a tiny little box, into a tiny little lens. It's a weird feeling having people show up in the chat. And like, we've been lucky that generally speaking, all kind people, but there are awful people out there who say awful things. So you are still putting yourself out there. So I think there's there's a fear of that. It's a fear of the tech. It's a fear of how you come across, and if you sound as kind of professional or as I don't know, the level of kind of intelligence that you want to be able to put out there in the world, and then the fear of how people are going to respond to that. So it's a little bit of a lot of things, and it's never going to go away. Like, all of those feelings and all those voices are always going to be there. I have been live, I think this week, maybe like upwards of 10 or 15 times so far.
Wow.
Like I'm all in this week because I'm doing this live challenge. And even in the live challenge live streams where I'm literally just chatting and it's like as low stakes as possible, I was like, should I, like, I don't like my hair, or I was definitely overthinking even those moments where it was honestly just for me, for practice. So it's tricky. It's getting rid of those voices is hard.
Yeah, every every week, like I said, I get up and, like, before I hit live, I go live, I always feel like I'm going to throw up. Like, I just, like, it's just like, and I've been doing this for almost 10 years now, starting back, like, in Google Plus. Okay, take a drink, Dustin. He's one of my BBFs, before beard friends, and it still is hard every time. But I want to talk real quick about both you and Alec talk about this, and Alec is in the community for Ecamm, but you talk about one take video. So in a world where everything is overproduction with AI polish, you can make your images look better than ever now, and you can make AI video based off of that. So why does this raw, unedited, kind of like what we're doing right now, one take energy you think it converts better than all the other stuff that's going on? I mean, a lot of those people are just throwing out volume, and this is kind of like, we're trying to go deep on, talking back and forth and bringing up comments. Why do you think that is?
It comes down to trust. So, and I even see this in my kids. So I have an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old, and their favorite thing to say is like, "Oh, that's AI. Oh, that's AI. Oh, that's AI." Like, there is a lack of trust right now in what is real and what is honest and what is human. And so I think it's going to be, it is right now, and will continue to be an issue for, people who have built these incredible YouTube channels where they have these really highly produced videos. It's always been because the production value is so good, and because they're offering value, they've been able to, end up with millions of subscribers and have these really like valuable, helpful places. But now people are skeptical. Like, is that actually them, or is this production value being brought to you by AI? And is it right? Because AI is not always right. It is wrong. It is pulling in incorrect data sometimes. So I think it's, even some of the top creators out there that I've had the pleasure of speaking to recently, they're adding more live streams in. They're intentionally changing up the production value and how they think through creating some of these videos, because they want their audience to know that it is them and that they've put in the work and that they're doing they want to look their best, but they care more about the trust. So I think it's a great time if you've been sitting here feeling like, my camera isn't good enough, or, I don't have awesome graphics, or I don't have all this stuff. What matters is you showing up and delivering value to your community. So it's going to get easier and easier for people who are willing to put in the work and offboard all of the other stuff, but stay as human as possible as you can in the video space, because that's how we're going to continue to build trust. And in the end, trust is what's going to matter, no matter what your goals or your outcomes are, right? Like, trust is what's going to actually sell your products, sell your services, build your community, help you grow. So it's a really interesting time, and it's been wild listening to some of these like creators who have millions of followers, who have been out there for a really long time, and now they're like, oh no, like I'm going to need to start showing up differently. Like it's a big shift for sure.
Yeah. Now, Katie, I've been really fortunate to see you speak in person and see the people in the room relate to you and relate to your story, because you are authentic and you tell this, great story of being, nervous, but now on camera all the time. So in your on-camera journey, what's some things that everybody would be surprised? Are there some moments you can talk about that you were just terrified and made mistakes?
literally every time. Literally every time. You will notice that I I show up every single time with a friend. So like if you've been tracking my journey at all, like I am never alone on camera. This week doing this live streaming challenge is I think the only time that I have shown up live by myself. Every show that I do, I'm with Jeff, I'm with Nat, I'm with Doc, I'm with you guys, I'm a guest, I have a guest on. There's something about the idea of kind of being by myself on camera that I still really struggle with. I'm like, can I fill the time? Can I bring value? What if I fail at that? I can't get out of my own head. So just there you go. If you look at me, I'm never alone. I do everything in a group and in a community. It just helps me feel my best. And I most of my kind of content that I'm creating is really conversational. So I think it needs that. I mean, thank you for the incredible compliments of speaking in public. That still scares the absolute bejesus out of me. I was just, which I know is not video, but like hilarious now that's the sort of the flip side of it. I used to be more comfortable on stage, and now I'm like, oh, this is tricky again. But I just got back from Creator Camp and Tube Fest in the UK, and I had to speak on the Tube Fest stage, which is the same size as the Creator Camp stage, give or take. But there was something about that idea that just was like nerve-wracking because it was a big screen behind me, and it was a British audience. I love you, British friends and family, but you like sit very quietly and listen. And I was like, oh, I need you to have some energy, British friends. So it's always the reality is says differently is lying. Everyone has their inside voices. Everyone is like Jeff, taking deep breaths or feeling like they're going to throw up, or no one is inherently comfortable in these spaces. It's like they just have gotten used to it or are practiced at it, or they've been able to put that fear to the side or use it in what they're doing. So it never feels comfortable. Sorry if you're out there and want us to, it never feels comfortable. It always feels weird. But if you can focus on the people on the other side, or if you're like me and you can bring a friend, focus on the friends. Like this is just a conversation with two really good friends, and a whole bunch of friends are hanging out with us in the chat. So that makes it feel is a calming force in this kind of environment.
That's what I wanted people to take away after you were talking, is that it's okay to bring somebody on. I've been doing this with like having a co-host for like years. One, because it gives me time. I can cut and look at stuff and read comments, and it just gives me a little bit more buffer. But I'm like you. I'm not a big fan of just getting with me and just talking. Like I would rather much have a conversation back and forth, and it's okay. Like if that's what gets you to do live stuff, find a buddy and do it. Like just do it. I think there's a real opportunity now, because people are craving this trust and authenticity and all the things that they're seeing here. I wanted to bring up some comments, which I think were just awesome. So Dustin says, here's the weird thing about me. This is the guy who founded Magi, folks. He says, as soon as it records for me recording a video, I'm paralyzed by overthinking sound, lighting, staging, editing. A lot of people feel this way. But this is where I think the opportunity is. And this is from our pal Lou. He says, I was just at a conference with 2,500 people. When it was asked in the keynote how many people were using live video regularly, 7 of us raised our hands.
7.
Only 7. Out of all those people,
Crazy.
there's a huge opportunity, folks, right now.
I did 8.
And so if you're not doing it, get a buddy. I know there can go watch some of the replays of the challenge that Katie is. But make sure that you use our friends over at Ecamm, because they're the ones that make all this magic possible. In fact, here's a quick word from our sponsor.
When your show deserves the very best, Ecamm stands above the rest. Ecamm.com/Jeff, won't you see? Broadcasting brilliance, easy as can be.
That's right. The amazing folks at Ecamm. It's so fun.
I love it.
Great
I love
folks.
it.
So now let's talk about this building a live stream hammock, because I think it's really interesting about this creator challenge that you had. It's a week-long thing I think you were doing with Pat Flynn. Kind of kicked it off with Ecamm. But I want to know in the audience, have you guys ever signed up for like a creator challenge? You know, one where you're doing like 7 days a week like you're doing with this one. Type in the comments, did it, quit it, or tempted in the chat. So did it, quit it, or tempted in the chat? Is a live challenge something that helps you, or do you like, oh, that's a lot of work every day, I'm out? Like, so I want to know if you guys have done any sort of challenge in the past. So let's talk about this thing. A lot of people have been seeing in their feeds this Go Live and Grow challenge that you've done with Pat Flynn. You're doing it as well. I know you and Jill have been running this with Pat.
Yep, Jill's doing it. Yeah.
So this is kind of a perfect example of the antidote to AI slop, because it's real people, they're going live and they're building real audience. So big picture, how did this Go Live and Grow, how did that partnership with Pat Flynn come about?
I mean, we've known Pat for
Right.
Since literally day one when I started at Ecamm. He's been a customer for a really long time, and it should be no surprise to anyone that's watching this that he is probably best in class when it comes to building a business, all things marketing, and certainly these days live streaming. If you're not watching what Pat is doing in the live streaming space, you should be paying attention. So he, back years ago, like prime pandemic time period, he did a year-long live streaming challenge, 365 days with Ecamm every single day. He was just there live, which was incredible. And we've done a lot of content with him talking about like what that experience was like and what that caused. These days, he live streams a ton over in his Pokemon community with Deep Pocket Monster, and those streams are wild. And he's really wild, and he's really pushing the boundaries. Like, he really has been thinking very much about, which is deeply resonated with me, about this idea of like, you know, he's always said like, what if it was easy? But there's also this idea of like, what if it was fun? Like, he really is building this experience where you want to show up live with him. Like, you want to be there live in that experience. It feels somewhat between like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Pee-wee's Playhouse, like just an experience that feels really friendly. And again, at a time where people are, you know, beside themselves, tired, burned out, overwhelmed, not trusting things, like the idea of just like going and spending time with someone that you really like and that you really admire is really special. So I'm loving watching what he's been doing there. And I'm so thrilled that he was willing to work with us this year. We've been working with him across the board on everything he's doing with his Pokemon Empire and everything he's doing with Smart Passive Income. So it just felt like it made a lot of sense for us to do a live streaming challenge. Luria does one usually twice a year called Lita. So she does live every day in April or August. So this is not like novel out there, but this is actually the first time that I've participated in one. So I'm sorry. I've been telling all of you to do it for a long time. Right. This is the first time I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. So it is
a big lift. It's a big lift going every day. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. So no joke about it. Yeah.
And you know, Pat's his videos are killer. I know nothing about Pokemon, but I find myself watching his content, right? Yeah. So you guys are doing so much with him now. What is it about Ecamm that has fit in with him, and what was he looking for, you know, you and Jill to bring to this?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't necessarily. I mean, Pat has always been into Ecamm, I think, because it makes it really, really easy for him to create content. So it was the tool that he picked up initially when he was originally thinking about live streaming. I don't actually know what that decision process was like for him, or how he initially discovered us. But I think because he did that year-long challenge and just got so comfortable using Ecamm every single day, and it was just easy for him to be able to reach his audience, like many of us, at a time where everything was closed and you couldn't connect with people. I think he's just always had us in his tool belt as one of those tools that he uses for everything related to live streaming, and these days also even some of the video production work as well. So it's always kind of been a natural fit working with him, and especially more now because he has, again, these kind of different sides of his business, and Ecamm is just able to help him create some of the crazy, off the wall, awesomely fun ideas that he has. So he does this event now 3 times a year called Card Party, where he brings together, it's upwards of 7,000 attendees, friends. So like, this is not a small event. 3 times a year. The team is about to head off in a week for the first card party of this year. And our team is on the ground producing an entire live streaming experience that is almost like a game day kind of vibe. So there's like a big like desk. He's got like Pokemon YouTube creators who are literally like celebrities in their own right, taking people through the entire experience of Card Party live. They're like running through the vendor area and like finding Pokemon cards, and they're interviewing kids and families. And so it's been really fun to show. And Paul and I were talking about this the other day, but like Ecamm can help do this kind of show where it's a little bit more simple. We're just kind of connecting, we're having a conversation, and a huge production in like that brings a stage and an event experience to life, with thousands of people in person and thousands, if not tens of thousands of people watching from home. So it is kind of a more robust tool, I think, than a lot of the just help you go live apps that are out there. So I imagine that that's probably why he continues to stay with us, is that we're able to do all aspects of it, no matter how big he wants to go or as simple as he wants to make it.
Yeah. So I think that's one thing I think that people should know. I mean, we talk about, and the Ecamm sponsors the show, and that's what we're using to go live and all this stuff, but it's a video production like software. Like you can make YouTube videos with it. You can do like trainings with it. You can make all sorts, anything you can make video, it works with. In fact, when I go on Zoom, I'm bringing my camera in through Ecamm because I have more control over it. So don't think of it as just that thing. But the cool thing is like Pat's having this huge event using Ecamm, but you can also use it, in your office to record videos for training. And so it's really versatile. And the other thing I wanted to pick up is like Pat was real on camera before he had the event. He didn't just go and have an event and have all this stuff. Like he was going live for people for a long time, building up that trust, which we talked about in the first segment, that now he can have these big events because people want to not just connect with him online, but they also want to do it live and in person. So I think that's a really cool thing that he has put together. Speaking of cool, we have some amazing people in our audience, getting some great comments. Raymond, who is our author in-house, he writes all the time. He goes, doing media for speaking for decades, it's not about TV, radio, podcasts, etc. For him, the only time I used to get really, really nervous when I was testifying before Congress.
Fair.
Yeah, I would like to know about that, Ray. Come on. And he says, I feel being exposed as not knowing what I was talking about, but then I realized I was talking to politicians. So anyway, I finally understood that I knew more than most of these guys. Trust your expertise, skills, experience, and that makes a big difference. Deliver the value. That's his 2 cents. And then my friend Ashton Jones, watching over LinkedIn, says, I think the unpolished can lower the stimulus in a good way. Similar to old films versus modern cartoons, there is less stimulation to process, so you can pay more attention to the person, the idea, or the moment. That is a great point, Ashton. Thank you for that comment. I want to talk really quick a little bit more about this challenge. And it doesn't have to be, just, these challenges in general, because this one's at the end of this week's over. I guess I can go back and take the training if they want and keep going. But walk us through what somebody actually experiences when they sign up. Like, what does that look like from day one to like I think today's the last day of the challenge. Like, what does that kind of look like?
So it actually goes through to Sunday. So there's I have 3 days left today, which I'm not counting today, this live stream. I'm going to still do an extra bonus live stream. So there's today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Great news, everyone. This is actually not overly structured, which may sound scary if you're like, no, but I need the structure. But the flip side of it is that you can sign up at any time. You can do this at any time. The Ecamm community is always thrilled for you to drop examples of the cool streams that you're creating or questions or any of that into the community. We're happy to have you share that kind of content. So even if you're here with us on Friday, or even if you watch this after after Sunday and into next week, you can still just literally, it's as hard as this. You literally just are committing to yourself that you're going to go live every day for 7 days. That's it. Like, whether or not you give Pat Flynn your email and he sends you little encouraging emails each day, which is there, and you can definitely do that. But like, that's all that the commitment is. No one is telling you what to create, how to create it. And I know that that's scary. I know that part feels scary. Mm-hmm. But the cool part about it is that you are really only in it for yourself. It is, you're going to get as much out of it as you put into it. And so it can be literally a minute a day. It can be a 2-hour live stream a day. It doesn't matter. It's the practice of forcing yourself to do it every single day and to learn as you go. It is putting in the reps. So if you've missed this one, no big deal. You can do it anytime. I'm sure we will do another like more scheduled one like what we're doing right now, but we don't have to for you to put in the reps. You can do it at any period, at any point.
Get a friend and do it with you. Like hold each other accountable. That's the best way I think to do it. And just go live. That's what you just need to do. Get the reps in.
Yeah. What are y'all seeing as far as like who's showing up for this? Are you seeing like people that have never gone live, or this like seasoned podcasters and YouTube people? Yeah, who all's in this so far?
It's a little bit of everyone. I mean, it's been again fun because it's like on our team, Jill, and I think she's hanging out with us, so she hopefully won't mind me saying this, but she's been wanting to start doing live streaming again, like hasn't done it in a while, so she's using this as sort of a kickstart to like getting her channel up and running and getting back into live streaming. So that's someone who's like has a history of it but hasn't been doing it for a while. There are people who are like me who live stream 3 times a week normally for shows I do, but this is kind of a different, I'm trying it in a different way. So I'm doing just by myself, kind of impromptu, really casual live streams, which has been different. And I've been learning a lot from that. And yeah, there are people as skilled as Pat Flynn and as brand new as just found out what live streaming is and is jumping in and trying this out. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I was actually going through and looking through the comments in the Facebook post group that has it, and it's really encouraging to see people and then the community rally around them and say, oh, that was great, you did such a great job, and giving them little tips and things like, you might want to try this. And I just thought, and the cool thing is, and this goes back to, don't wait for the next challenge, just grab a buddy and start doing it, and then post it in Ecamm, because in the Facebook community, because I tell you, it's one of the best groups out there for this kind of thing to help you be accountable, but also give you tips and figure stuff out. So it is a great community. And Zach said, I did Paul's 26 and 10 Facebook challenge. It was great engagement. I got easier as I went and built a solid rhythm. That's the thing. Like if I take a vacation and miss a week, like you're rusty. Like you got to keep it going. Like I've done this for 10 years and it's still like, if you don't do it, that skill goes away. But we talk a lot about on this show about the gap between I should go live and then actually pressing the button. We talked about this in Paul and I's mastermind too. It's like, we all have that thing we know we should do, but are too scared to do. Like if I ask you that, you could name it right now. We all have that thing that we know we should be doing, but we're just scared to do it. And a lot of people is that I know I should go live, but I'm scared to press that button. So what do you think is the breakthrough? Like what pattern have you seen in the challenge for the people who finally pushed through that, Katie?
Again, it is different for everyone. I will shout out a couple of people. So our friend Corey, who works over at Libsyn, she is taking the challenge, which I'm so proud of her for doing this, because she was like, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do this anyway. And she's literally just been texting Doc and I. So like it's like not public. She's doing it for herself to get more comfortable, but she has like Doc and I as accountability partners. And so I think it's figuring out what you want to do, and like, but at some point having at least one accountability part. Doesn't even have to be, you don't have to tell the whole internet about it. You could tell your mom, you can tell your best friend, you can tell one of us, you can reach out to one other person to keep you accountable, but it's making a commitment to yourself that you're going to do this. And then it's doing it in the way that works best for you. So I'm like, as I said, I think earlier, like a super planner. I need to plan absolutely everything out. But that was a crutch for me, continues to be a crutch for me. So this one, I was like, I'm just going to show up, and whatever comes to mind seconds before I hit go live is what I'm going to talk about. And that has put me into a space where I know I can do it and there's no excuses. It's not like I'm like, well, I'm not prepared. Nope. I wasn't going to be prepared. So I'm just going to go anyway. So I think it makes a big difference. And I see Disney Hotel Lady here hanging out with us in the chat. She like huge shout out to you, because there are moments in all of our lives where it gets really, really difficult and you miss a day and you pushed through. So like what I love about it, but you push through in a way that was really authentic to you. So like, even if you miss a day in this 7-day challenge, that's fine. You're doing it for yourself. Like
Right.
roll with those punches, be accountable to yourself, be accountable to your accountability partner if you have one, and then continue on. So like, I love, it's been really nice seeing the people who are like clearly not great with this challenge, like don't want to do it, but are doing it
Yeah.
anyway in this like curmudgeon-y, like, I said I would do this and I'm doing it anyway kind of way. That's where it's going to matter. Like in being real with yourself and with others in that space, like that's what's going to make a really, really big difference. So
yeah, sometimes you have to treat it like exercise. Like
you do.
I don't want to do it. It is the worst thing. Like, and I just hate it. And I know I need to do it. So I do it almost like a prescription. Like I just don't, I mean, I know I need to run, but the only time I run is when I hear fire, free food,
bears chasing you,
or the free food's on fire. Those are the only times I run. So, that's it. So, we've got some great comments real quick, Paul, before your question. This is from How to Prepare. He says, I love the fact that I'm seeing chats coming in from LinkedIn and other places. So the stream's going out everywhere. This is really showing me how important it is to start. Yeah. So you don't have to go live everywhere, but that's what's so cool about this technology is that I can go everywhere at once and pull in comments from those places, and Ecamm allows me to do that. So yeah, that's one of the cool things. But when you first start, just pick one and go to it till you're comfortable, because you can get overwhelmed by like, oh my gosh, you got to answer all these questions from like, but mostly Disney, because he says, but Ecamm makes it informal show look professional. So I get production value. Plus it's basically an easy button. So we don't want to hit an easy button all the time, but it kind of is a little bit for going live.
But it's nice sometimes.
Yeah, it is exactly right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It does make it so easy. Just hitting that live button, you don't even have to do all the other stuff. You can just hit go live. But yeah, I love you talking about Disney Hotel Lady and her kind of catching up and having some moments there. For you, or have you seen other people have any other breakthrough moments, or has there been like a comment or something that's has come through on your doing this solo a little bit that really helped you with this challenge so far?
Oh yeah, so here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with everyone because that's become my brand. So intense vulnerability. That's me here. So I've been doing this now. I'm on finished day 4 today. Will be day 5 of the 7-day challenge. And as I said, I'm doing it completely ad hoc. I did not set a scheduled time. I did not set I'm like, whenever I have time during my day is when I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm just gonna hit go live, talk about whatever comes to mind, and there's no time limit. There's no anything. So that means that no one knows when I'm going to go live. So that means that there's hardly anyone that shows up. Like some days it's been like 1 or 2 people. Some days it's been 0 people, which is triggering. I like stare at the number and I'm like, why am I even doing this? There's not even anyone watching. But I will say that I've now gotten, and I'm only a couple days in, again, talking about very little, showing off some of my favorite Ecamm features or talking through things that come to my mind. And but I have gotten a few comments on LinkedIn. I've had a few people that have DM'd me that have said like something that I shared was valuable or helpful. They loved just getting to see me. They felt like they were hanging out with me. It was a great way to spend there. So it continues to be wild to me that the things that I think are like a throwaway moment in time, I was just babbling, I was just whatever, still like resonates enough with someone on the other side that they felt the need to send me a note about it. That's crazy in how busy things are in the world today, that like no one was there live, friends. No one showed up live to it, but it still had impact. So we need to think about, about live streaming past just the live moment, and about how like the humanity and the connection and the community that you're building long term, because those live streams sit up there, and when people come across them and find them and discover them, they're still spending that time with you, even if they're not having that live interaction. So the impact, it's an iceberg. The impact is way bigger than what you see and what you understand. So I think that's been, other than the 2 stories I just told, like for me personally, it was a good reminder that even though I say that all the time, like it doesn't matter how many people are watching, it still kind of mattered to me. But it still made a difference in the end. Like and probably will continue to, like, so it
follower
wasn't
accounts
about that. Yeah.
Follower accounts to me are just, they're vanity metrics anymore. Mine is totally, I mean, if you look, I have a small channel and stuff, but I have been doing this. I've been able to put kids through school. It's my full-time job. I mean, like you don't have to be a good, a huge monster YouTuber, Mr. Beast kind of person to make money and then make an impact on people.
Yeah.
Like you don't. Like this is, I mean, I show up every week because I love it. The Mondays are mastermind days and Fridays are this. Those are my 2 favorite days of the week. The rest is just gravy, right? Like it's just I love it. And this is why you guys showing up and leaving comments is why we do the show. But I hope for you guys have noticed that, we've kind of we have this great conversation, and Katie, and this is a very comfortable kind of show. Paul and I and Katie, we're all friends. And so that happened because of going live, but it also happens because of getting together in these live events that happen a couple of times a year. I love going live. I will do it every week as long as I'm able to do. But there's also something being said about coming together and meeting those people that you have talked to or seen in the comments or whatever, and see them live at a live event. And the cool thing is
live, like
in real life, in person,
Yeah.
because it's like when Paul and I meet and we do, we're on calls every week together. But when we come together at a like Momentum or at Creator Camp, we just continue the conversation. It's just that natural. And I think that's what's so cool about some of these things that we're going to talk about next. But I want to know, you guys in the comments where you're watching from, if you could go to one in-person creator event this year, would it be Chicago, where I will be speaking with Katie in July, or New Hampshire in September? So which one do you think would be great for you? Drop Chicago or New Hampshire?
Now you're being mean.
Both. In the chat. Yeah, both. I want to go to, I will be at both, but I mean, and Paul will be too, and Katie, but for you, or you could go to both as well. Put that in the comments. So we would love to know, but we'll talk about that because we're going to be talking about some creator events, not just to show and talk and, whatever, but it's actually kind of like the challenge we've been talking about. It builds you for action. Momentum, Social Media Marketing World, and these events are my favorite ones. I will hopefully never miss. But for somebody who's never heard of Creator Camp, what is it and what makes it different from the typical creator conference?
Oh, it's so hard to explain. It was born out of this idea that the most special part of going to these events, of which myself and my team have been to hundreds of different events across the world in every conceivable category of video marketing, social media, live streaming, everything in between. And what was really special about those experiences wasn't as much the stage presentations and the learning from the experts. It was the time together, and it was what we jokingly always call hallway track. It was the like meeting people in real life that you normally only get to see online, having those conversations about how they're actually doing the things that they're doing, what they're seeing, how they're winning. It's like a real life coaching call with all of your favorite people. And so Creator Camp was born out of that idea. Like, again, what if we made it easy? What if we made it really fun? It has a camp theme. It's this year, warning, we're gonna get campier. we're gonna get campier. We're gonna get crazier. But it's meant to kind of put you in this space where everyone is learning. So the experts that are there are learning. The people who are brand new to all of this are learning, and everyone has a different perspective to share. Everyone has a different thing that they're really proud of or thing they want to learn more about, and spending time together having those conversations is how we are all going to get better at this. So camp is intentionally meant to be more hands-on, more conversational, less traditional stage presentations, more just let's be together and figure out how we can be our best selves in the content and in the businesses that we're creating. So it gets a little bit more crazy and more fun every single year.
Okay.
And there's lots we learn from every event we do. But yeah, I'm very, very excited. And the difference between these two events, which I know we have not said a ton publicly, so I'm sorry about that. So, but the Chicago event that's coming up, which Lou jokingly reminded me is in is in Crystal Lake, so it's Camp Crystal Lake. You're all welcome, horror movie fans.
That's right.
It is, but I promise it will not be scary. It will be very fun. We are going to be partnering with an organization called MacStock, which is, if you can imagine, it is a group of like just the most wonderful, like I can't even properly. It's like a Mac user group, but bigger, and so they are there to talk about all things Mac, all things Apple. And I learned so much from this event last year. Like I learned everything about the Photos app. I learned like I left that event being like, oh, I'm way better at all of this just because now I understand how to use these tools better. So the Creator Camp event that is connected to that one, which is coming up in July, which Jeff is speaking at, is really geared to help all of us understand why Ecamm is Mac only, how Ecamm fits within this Mac environment, and how we can create really effective, incredible systems to make all of this video work significantly easier. So it's a coming together of Mac people and Ecamm people, and we're all going to learn how to be really great on these devices with these tools. And I think it's just going to be a lot of fun. So it's a little bit geekier. And it's a little bit more Mac focused than the main event. And I love that Jeff is going, because Jeff, you're like me, where it's like you're newer to the like you have had a PC past. So I think it's always fun to kind of learn, like every time Doc does like a hotkey, I'm like, wait, how did you just do that?
What was that secret sauce you just did?
Yeah. So we're gonna learn from people who are just like all in and are total geeks in the best possible way about Mac computers, which I think is going to be awesome. And then the main event is our like OG 3-day long all in craziness.
A lot of fun.
Got lots of really good fun ideas. Last year we did Ecamm Family Feud. This year I got an even more bonkers idea for a fun game we're all going to play. So
fun.
Get ready.
By the way, if you guys want to know, so camp is this is the first one that's coming up in Crystal Lake in Illinois, and you can find out about all of these at ecamm.com/camp. So not just this camp coming up, but the main camp. If you go to ecamm.com/camp, you can find out all about that. But this is the first one that's coming up in July. We would love to see you all there. I'm excited because I get to go on a train trip. Amtrak.
I'm so jealous of your train trip.
It's so going to be so much fun. Paul, did you have another question or follow-up?
Yeah. So last year was my first Creator Camp up in New Hampshire, and you talking about just being in the room. Sometimes that's the best thing, and what happens in the hallways. And I'll tell you, one of my great stories from that Creator Camp is I'm just standing in the hallway and I'm hoping to catch a selfie with Luria, having watched her for years. And instead of her just walking up and saying hi, she her first thing out of her mouth is, "Hey, Paul, how can I help you? What can I do to help make your video production better?" And that's what Creator Camp was. Everybody there was so welcoming and so wanting to help each other. But you're talking about how it's going to be a little different this year. So tell us, can you give us any hints on what's going to be different this year for the big flagship event?
No.
Of course.
There's some cool speakers coming. Yeah.
So we've announced this earlier, but Pat Flynn will be there. Michael Hyatt will be there, which we've been bugging Michael for forever. So I'm like just so
awesome.
Excited. As I like literally like grew up as a marketer reading his books and following like all of his stuff. So it's super exciting to have him there. And a lot of other, obviously incredible speakers and people. What makes this one different, or what I'm excited about, is that for the last few years, we've been really trying to be as hands-on as we can. So we're trying to unlock this idea of workshops and working through content together, because that's where people find the most value, is actually getting to do that. And I think because Jill is on our team and she has always the best magical teacher ideas, she's got some fun things up her sleeve for how we can really make it feel really hands-on, so that you can actually make videos at camp, get your hands on some of the gear, test some things out, try some things, and be able to work more collaboratively together. So I'm excited for that. And then, we're also doing, I was teasing to Paul last night or yesterday that we are also doing campfire evening sessions this year. So there will be s'mores. There will
Yes.
be fun drinks. There will be just time to like hallway track vibes, but in the evening. So we'll be working hard all day, break for dinner, and then be able to come back and, you know, have those moments with those creators. And I will say the one thing I'm very proud of, I'm normally like the most Canadian, least mean person that I think I know. But I did tell every single speaker, including big names like Michael Hyatt and Pat Flynn, I was like, you cannot fly in and out for this event. This is an all hands on deck event. If you come, you are here for the entire time. You are an attendee and a speaker. You are here to learn.
I love it.
And
Love that,
thankfully, none of the people that we work with would ever dream of saying anything other than like, of course. But it is something we hold to, that everyone that attends this event is at an equal playing field. So the Lurias of the world have as much to learn from brand new people as brand new people have to learn from someone with her level of experience and expertise. So it that remains important to me, and I think we've done a great job of keeping that across the board. And so that will continue, but a lot of fun and silly games, a lot more hands-on, and bringing things to life outside just taking notes. So
yes, so one of the it's amazing. From the late Dan Miller, he was a big podcaster and big masterminds. But I remember seeing him at conferences. He would go to every session and sit down and take notes. And it always impressed me that he was never too big enough to learn, and he would constantly do that.
Yep.
So I try to think about that a lot. So Katie, this has been amazing. A lot of stuff with camp. We've had, one of the things that we're going to have to figure out with Ecamm is I still have problems with trolls popping in, and I need to be able to block them. Will there be more or less a Jeff at Creator Camp this year?
I can't.
And
Wait, this way? No, this way. I can't reach through and punch him. I'm trying.
And then it's like, hey, Jeff, your restraining order says 100 feet. Meet me when I first see Jeff at Creator Camp. So there we go. We got to figure out how to block
We'll
these
solve
people.
it. We'll solve it.
Anyway, this has been amazing. Thank you, Paul. Paul, where can people find out about the amazing Paul Gowder?
Yeah, come over. You can see what I'm doing over at paulgowder.com. And of course, if you're wanting to know more about Native American powwows, they are open to everybody. Come check us out over at powwows.com.
And Katie says she's not very good on camera, has camera confidence issues, but she has an amazing podcast called the VHS Club. So talk about that, and then maybe segue to what we're doing this afternoon.
So I said earlier, I have not one, not two, but three shows, which is still wild, friends, that I'm even doing these kinds of things. But the VHS Club is a podcast where my best friend and I geek out about movies from the 80s, 90s, and today. We go on lots of fun side quests, and it feels like hanging out with friends in the basement in the 90s. So you can check that out. That's Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. We stream live, or you can catch any episodes whenever you want at thevhsclubpod.com. And then I do an awesome show with my friend Jeff. You may have heard of him. It's called The Maker's Table. We do that on Friday afternoons, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and all the different spots and places. And then, not to be left out, I still do an incredible show with my mentor in many ways, the one and only Doc Rock. And we talk all about video podcasting and how to use Ecamm for doing shows like this. And that's called The Flow, Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern, live stream to the Ecamm channels and available whenever you want to watch it.
This has been awesome, Katie. Thank you so much. And of course, I'll see you later on this afternoon. But everybody follow Katie everywhere you see her. You can find her at ecamm.com, Katie Fawkes, VHS Club, The Flow, all the things. Make sure you guys check her out. And we want to say thank you to all of you in the chat room, the amazing chat room that we have. It's the best chat room in the world. And with that, I'm just going to say, here we go with the amazing chat room. See you guys next week.
The Creator News Live chat room, the best chat room in the world.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.